Welcome to 3dfocus.net review. Coming up.
A prosumer version of the Sony TD10, the NX3D1 has two lenses and it can record in 1080p in 2D mode or 1080i in 3D mode. There's a 12x optical zoom, which is reduced down to 10x in 3D mode, and it boasts a 3.5 inches glass-free 3D screen with ultra-fine display. The active steady shot has 3 different versions, and also there's a 3D disparity control which affects how far in and out of the screen things can go. Finally, it features an ECM XM1 shotgun microphone. So what's it like? Well, keep on watching for an unbiased review.
First of all, the screen is a real pleasure to work with. It's a glasses-free 3D screen. You can get a real accurate idea of what you're filming. Also, there's a fantastic control here, so if you click on that, you put your, keep it pressed down, you've got 3D depth adjustment. That will allow you to adjust the convergence, so that determines at what point things come in and out of the screen and go out and into the screen. Obviously you can also adjust everything manually. This is a prosumer camera, so there's lots of manual options on there as well. Get rid of that. Audio, again, wonderful, as you would expect from this type of camera. This picks up everything. This is a zoom microphone as well, so you can zoom into the audio whilst you're filming. Now the thing I'm most impressed with this is the steady shot. There's 2 versions, the steady shot and this active steady shot. So the 2 lenses, now they are pretty close together, so it is helped the fact that you've got the auto 3D convergence option to change, but you will have to film things pretty close up. That's one of the things with any kind of integrated 3D camera. Now as a 2D camera, this is amazing. It's still incredibly good. I mean, you can film in 3D mode, which I often do, and then just take the 2D feed. The other thing which is pretty cool about this, the battery life seems to last forever. I mean, I just recently used it to do some filming for 3dfocus.co.uk, and the battery very rarely needs to be changed. It just goes on and on and on, which is brilliant because obviously you expect it to be using a lot of processing power as well. Also, it's the simplicity as well. It is so easy just to get started. You can literally press record on auto and get cracking 3D shots. Let's have a look now at the hotel I stayed in. This is the first day I had this camera. I didn't even read the instruction manual. And I hope you'll agree that the 3D is pretty spectacular.
What are my likes about the Sony HXR-NX3D1? Well, first of all, the screen is fantastic. At 3.5 inches, it's very, very bright, and it's touchscreen too, and it really will give you an idea of how far things are going in and out of the screen. The audio quality is, as you would expect, very good with the shotgun mic and also external microphones too. The editing is really easy too with Sony Vegas, which of course is included with this camera. It's very, very simple to edit footage because it's using the native MTS format, where two images side by side are encoded within the same file. So you can edit effectively as a 2D file and then output that to any kind of 3D mode you like, or in 2D using just the left image. The steady shot technology built in is very, very effective using the 3-way control. In fact, it could almost look like you're using a Steadicam. And the battery life is pretty good too, considering the processing power it's using. The convergence control is effective too. Although it's not a mechanical system, both sensors are picking up more than a HD image. So when you are adjusting it, it's adjusting where the image is being picked up, which will give you the same results as if it were a mechanical system. Although there is a limit to how far you can converge and not converge. It's incredibly user-friendly too. You really can just pick this camera up and start shooting decent looking 3D. And finally, the 2D picture quality is excellent. So really, if you are looking for a 2D camera with the possibility that you might film in 3D in the future, then you could do a lot worse than this. So what are my dislikes? Well, there's no interaxial adjustment. So it can mean, because the lenses are so close together, that there is a short range for effective 3D. You are limited really, and you can't particularly film far away shots in decent 3D. There's no 1080p in 3D mode either, it's reduced to 1080i. And there are very few extra features compared to the Sony HXR-TD10. We're going to come more onto that in a second. Finally, there's a small 10x optical zoom. You probably would have liked a bit more for this kind of price. But going back to the Sony TDR10. Sony TDR10 is a 3D consumer camcorder that cost about £1,000. This camera cost £3,000, so what are you getting for the extra £2,000? Well, unfortunately not an awful lot. So what are the differences? Well, for the extra £2,000 you're getting XLR audio inputs and audio level adjustment. It's switchable with 50i and 60i 24p. There's side-by-side HDMI output to non-3D devices such as SDI converter. At 96GB you're getting bigger internal memory, and you're also getting the free Sony Vegas software, which is worth £500. Also, you're getting 2 years Prime support. So effectively, you're getting those features. Let's forget the Sony Vegas software for an extra £1,500. Effectively, the cameras are the same image quality. So is it worth it? Well, unfortunately, because the Sony TD10 is so good and at such a low price, it is going to reduce the score of this camera. If it wasn't for that, it'd be having a higher score. You've got to judge really whether it's worth the extra £1,500 for those features, and that can only be up to you. But in terms of a camera, it is excellent. Whether it justifies the extra costs, I'm not too sure. But I'm giving it 4 out of 5.